cried. Cold. Icy. Yes, that was it.
I assure you that wasn't it at all. She forgave me at once.
Did she?
Yes, she quite saw it was because of the boats being late. See, she even said that she was relieved to find I wasn't quite perfect.
She said that?
She really did.
I mean, I wouldn't. Now, if I had said that, what would have made me say it? George, is Mary all we think her?
Well, if she wasn't, Mother, you would know it.
Hold your tongue, boy. We can't really know what happened on that island.
You've been reading the book all the morning.
And how do I know that the book is true?
Well, they say it to be true.
And how do I know they're not lying?
Well, why should they lie?
Why should they lie? If I had been shipwrecked on an island, George, I think it highly probable that I should have lied when I returned. But they're not servants with them.
Crichton, the butler. Why, Mother, you're not...
Yes! Yes, I am. Now, George, watch whether Crichton begins any of his answers to my questions with, "the fact is."
Why?
Because that is usually the beginning of a lie.
Mother, you cannot be doing these things now.
It was I who ran. So you were one of the castaways, Crichton?
Yes, my lady.
What a delightful book Mr. Woolley has written about your adventures, don't you think?
I have not read it, my lady.
Oh, odd that they should not have presented you with a copy.
Evidently, Crichton is no reader.
And by the way, Crichton, were there any books on the island?
I had one, my lady, Barrie's poems.
Never heard of him.
I think you were not the only servant wrecked.
No, there was a young woman.
I would like to speak to her. Fetch her up.
Mother, this is scandalous. You don't be doing these things.
Oh, how do you do, Catherine, Agatha? I expect you didn't dress like this on the island. And by the way, how did you dress?
Not so well, of course, but quite the same idea.
Sure. Oh, Mr. Traherne, how do you do? There's not so much of you in the book as I would have hoped.
There wasn't very much of me on the island, Lady.
How do you mean?
I hear you have a living now, Traherne. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it a good one?
So-so. They're rather weak in bowling, but it's a good bit of turf.
Lady Brocklehurst, how are we?
Our brilliant author.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It is as engrossing, Mr. Woolley, as if it were a work of fiction.
Well, thank you. The fact is...
Lady Brocklehurst, Mr. Traherne and I, we are engaged. Oh, and Ernest and I.
I see, my dears. Thought it wise to keep the island in the family.
Younger than any of them, Emily.
Flatterer. Ah, you seem in high spirits, Barrie.
I am.
Even after Lord...
I mean, the fact is...
The fact is, Emily, she hears wedding bells.
Do you, Mary? I can't say I do, but I'm hard of hearing.
If you don't, Lady Brocklehurst, I'm sure I don't.
Tut-tut now. Emily, have you seen our curios from the island? I should like you to examine them.
Oh, thank you, Henry. I'm so glad to hear you say that, for I've just taken the liberty of asking two of them upstairs.
No, I had no hand in this.
Oh, pooh, what have I done? You always begged me to talk to the servants, Henry. I merely wanted to discover whether the values that you used to hold about equality were adopted on the island. I thought it a splendid opportunity, but Mr. Woolley here has not a word to say on the subject.
The fact is that I can assure you, Emily...
Father, nothing happened on the island, which I, for one, am ashamed, and I hope that Crichton will be allowed to answer Lady Brocklehurst's questions.
Oh, to be sure, there's nothing to make a fuss about. We are a family party. Now, truthfully, my man.
I promise that, my lady.
Well, were you all equal on the island?
No, my lady. I should say there was as little equality there as elsewhere.
Ah, the social distinctions were preserved.
As at home, my lady.
And the servants?
They had to keep their place.
Wonderful. How was it managed? You girl, tell me that.
If you please, my lady, it was all the Gov's idea.
In the regrettable slang of the servants' hall, my lady, the master is usually referred to as the Gov.
Ah, I see. You, Henry.
Yes, I do believe that is what they called me, yes.
Wonderful. You didn't even take your meals with the family, Crichton.
No, my lady, I dine apart.
And you girl also, did you dine with Crichton?
No, my lady. I took my bit of supper with Daddy and Polly.
Oh, Daddy, he was a monkey. You remember a monkey?
Oh, wow, what a funny old darling he was.
Wasn't Polly the sweetest parrot, Mary?
I understand. Animals you had domesticated.
Yes, quite so, quite so.
And the servants' teas that used to take place here once a month?
They were not felt natural on the island, my lady, and were discontinued by the gov's orders.
A clear proof, Lone, that there were a mistake here. Also.
Absolutely.
Yes, I admit it frankly, and they were somewhat of an error. I must admit to you, Emily, that since our experience on the island, I have been thinking of going over to the Tories.
Oh, I am absolutely delighted to hear it.
Thank you, Crichton, that is all.
One moment, Crichton. Young people, Crichton, will be young people, even on an island. Now, I suppose there was a certain amount of, shall we say, sentimentalizing going on?
Yes, my lady, there was.
Mother.
Which gentleman? Girl, tell me.
The fact is
It
that...
was Mr. Ernest. It was all Mr. Ernest, my lady.
Right. With which lady?
Oh, I've already told you, Lady Brocklehurst, that Ernest
Yes, now. But you were 2 years on the island. Was it this lady?
No, my lady.
Then I don't quite care which girls it was. That would do, thank you.
Do? Mother, I hope you're ashamed of yourself. You're an excellent fellow, Crichton, and if, after we are married, you wish to change houses, come to us.
Oh, no! Impossible!
Why impossible? Do you see why it should be impossible, my man?
Yes, my lady. My lord, I have not yet had time to tell you, but as soon as it is convenient, I wish to leave service.
But what will you do, Crichton?
Shall I withdraw, my lord?
Horrid of me, wasn't it? But if one wasn't disagreeable now and again, it would be awfully tedious to be an old woman. He will soon be yours, Mary, and then think of all the wonderful opportunities you will have of being disagreeable to me. On that understanding, my dear, don't you think?
Yes, quite so, yes.
Dinner is served.
To wish you every dear happiness.
The same to you, my lady.
Do you despise me, Crichton? You are the best man among us.
On an island, perhaps, my lady, but in England, no.
Then there's something wrong with England.
My lady, not even from you can I listen to a word against England.
Tell me one thing. You have not lost your courage.
No,